WWE 2K26 has gotten some necessary updates, and it's time we talk about it because we've been seeing the big things that's been right in front of us, but there has been some details that you might have missed, I might have missed. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. You guys have been enjoying the content. We are giving away a couple of copies of WWE 2K26, so let's go on ahead and get into it, y'all. Let's get it. First things first. Kane 98 was updated. Now, this is an update that we've kind of all seen, I want to say, because it was on Monday Night Raw, but it is something definitely worth mentioning. It seems that 2K went ahead and said, hold on now, we're going to go on ahead and fix this. Now, you look at Kane, and he looks absolutely amazing. The body type, the mask, the details, the hair. I mean, Kane looks really up there at the moment. So I am very, very happy about what Kane looks like in that final product in 2K26. Now, in the entrance, you guys noticed that the Raw is War Arena is there. I believe that's one of the pre-order bonuses for the Attitude Era and Monday Night Wars edition. So for those that have been wondering where that arena is at, there we go. We see the Raw is War Arena. And again, not too many details there that I can go on ahead and point out because I really wasn't watching WWE around that time. In fact, I probably wasn't even a thought at the time. So this is one of those things that's really, really cool, you know, when you first see it. So just exciting stuff that I want to go on ahead and talk about. Now, we got the Jey Uso entrance. And if you guys look at the crowd, one of the big complaints the last 2 years is the way that the crowd moves. Now, this year, the crowd during Jey Uso's entrance looks much better. Now, it's not picture perfect, but it's much better. It's an improvement over what we've seen before instead of the bowing. It looks like they were able to speed that up a little bit more to the point where they now look like they're yeeting. It's not the most perfect animation. I want to point that out again, but it's not the worst, and it's way better than what we had the last year. So definitely a positive when it comes down to that. So wanted to go on ahead and mention that because a lot of people have been wondering, is Jey Uso's entrance going to be the same? It indeed is the same. It hasn't really changed, but we do see that the crowd reacts much better to Jey Uso. Nikki Bella, man oh man, this one was crazy in September when Nikki Bella and Goldberg dropped as part of the expansion pack. It looks like Nikki Bella is now updated. She has a very, very good model. Her face looks like herself with this model, and she looks really, really good. I'm really excited about these models, you know, getting the love that they deserve. That way, you know, people don't got to go out their way to really go crazy in the community. And we're going to talk about some of the requests that, you know, I've seen people wanting, but Nikki Bella, man, she looks very, very good in my opinion, and it was definitely a well-needed update, especially after she went on her podcast and basically said what is going on along with Brie Bella as well. So that was an interesting one, and I am actually very glad that she did get her model updated. Now, we all have seen these models get updated when the community speaks up or when a wrestler speaks up, and there are plenty of models that deserve updates in WWE 2K26, and I think that some of the ones that I've seen the most, such as Lita, Trish Stratus, those two, it seems like the community really, really is pushing for them to get a new model, a better attire, a better wig is what we call a better hairstyle. So I think that those two would definitely help the situation. And when we look at Maurice, we have a lot of people upset about Maurice because she's had the same sort of model for the past couple of years. So now we got a different attire on Maurice, but the likeness did not match the attire. So people were complaining about that as well. Now, whether does Maurice get fixed or not before the game drops, I'm not sure because Maurice doesn't really come around all that often anymore. So I'm not sure where that stands because I know that a lot of the things have to do with the WWE and them, you know, kind of choosing what goes in and what goes out the game. So we'll have to see if Maurice gets a better look. But nonetheless, Kane, Jey Uso, Nikki Bella, just a couple positives there that we definitely needed to go on ahead and talk about. Now, there is this main menu going around with a blur picture that it looks like 2K went ahead and blurred out. Now, if I had to guess, that right there in the right corner has to do with the ringside pass. Now, there's a picture with Mr. Iguana going around with the iguana on his shoulder that looks very, very similar to what the blurred out picture looks like. So we all know that there is a AAA championship because Dominic Mysterio was holding it in his entrance on Monday Night Raw, and they actually did a transition from 26 to the real entrance. So that is something to keep in mind. We had an iguana on the big picture that was giving us all the clues and everything like that. So something to notice with that, right? Now, if Mr. Iguana is the wrestler that you unlock for level 1, then that's going to be interesting going into, you know, what else they're going to drop. Is Vikingo going to get in there right away? Is that going to be one of the wrestlers? I'm genuinely excited to see what wrestlers get in there, because the roster is genuinely going to be insane this year. I mean, we're starting off with 400 plus, and then you still have all the DLC, and especially if AAA is on there like people are guessing, that's going to be really cool as well. Now, I do wonder what championships, arenas, and things like that, you know, is going to be a part of it, because there is a lot to obviously go around. But if that is the case with Mr. Iguana and all that, then I think we're in for a treat with the Ringside Pass. Now, y'all, we didn't talk about MyGM on the channel thus far, and I wanted to go on ahead and mention a couple things. Now, first things first, Mick Foley is still in WWE 2K26. He's mentioned on the Ringside Report as a GM, so I assume that we're going to get him back as a wrestler, because we all know that he kind of, you know, said he ain't rocking with WWE, and he's still in the game. So I think that maybe it could have been just a little bit late for them to cut him out, but enjoy Mick Foley this year, as we don't know if it's guaranteed that we're going to get him again in another 2K game for a little bit. So I definitely want to go on ahead and mention that. For those that were waiting on Mick Foley, obviously with the Attitude Era and everything, it was going to be hard not to see Mick Foley Mankind on there. So definitely something that, you know, I wanted to go on ahead and talk about and assure you guys, that way if you missed out on there, then you know that, right? Because again, we all see the big details, but sometimes the underlying things that we may not be looking for at the time may just be in there. So something to mention with that. MyGM looks to me like it's going to be one of the better just updated modes as usual. I know that some people always say, oh, MyGM doesn't really get updated as much, but I feel like MyGM is always getting some updates every single year. There's always something on MyGM. This year, you're getting slammies. You're getting new things that shake up the mode a little bit for you. And not only that, there is tons of new PLEs, and all the new match types will be available on a weekly basis for MyGM. So there's a lot of positive to go around with MyGM. Even though I'm a universe mode guy and I like where universe mode is going, we got to talk about MyGM, because there's a lot of things to go on there in case you missed out on some of that. I remember when MyGM was first introduced to the game, we would always miss different PLEs and just miss different things and certain match types you couldn't do. Now it seems like there is that support for MyGM. So again, very happy for those MyGM players. Me personally, I'm not a MyGM guy, but we still haven't heard about the online portion of it. And I'm someone that kind of likes the online MyGM, because I would like to be able to play with my friends and actually play the matches online. Like, that would be dope. At the moment, it's really just an online simulator, so I would love to see us being able to play MyGM online against other players and just really having fun throughout the matches and things like that, and just putting up 5-star matches. So again, something else that I would like to see that I'm kind of disappointed that hasn't been talked about yet, because if I had to guess based on the fact that it hasn't been spoken about, we may not get that. Universe mode online would be awesome as well, like a co-op mode. I've been hoping for that for a very long time. Unfortunately, not the case. Nonetheless though, y'all, this has been a fun video talking about the updates and all that good stuff. There may be more updates at the time that you're watching this, because I am recording this a little bit before. So that's really all that is. But this game does look like a substantial leap forward from what 2K25 was. So I am excited to see what the first current generation game looks like in 2K26. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel, as I'm going to continue giving you guys more updates. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.